An historic visit for President Obama today. He stepped off Air Force One and walked into the history books, becoming the first sitting commander-in-chief to visit Cuba in nearly a century. CBS 2's Valerie Castro has more.
President Obama, the First Lady, and their daughters arrived in Cuba, greeted by a rainy afternoon in Havana. The first visit by a sitting president since 1928, when President Calvin Coolidge visited with First Lady Grace, meeting with President Gerardo Machado.
President Coolidge came on a battleship. It took him 3 days to get here. It only took me 3 hours. This is a historic visit, and it's a historic opportunity to engage directly with the Cuban people.
President Obama's visit aims to restore ties with the country and create new opportunities in the form of business and tourism. The Obamas toured Old Havana and paid a visit to the cathedral. The newly reopened U.S. Embassy flew its American flag, an outward symbol that a new relationship between the U.S. and Cuba is moving forward. But not all are in agreement with the visit. New Jersey U.S. Senator Bob Menendez spoke out about it to WCBS News Radio 880.
It is totally unacceptable for the President of the United States to reward a dictatorial regime.
More than 50 human rights protesters were arrested just before the president arrived. New Jersey resident Riddell Garcia moved to the U.S. from Cuba in 2009. Things should get better, he says, between the two countries with the president's visit. But other Cuban Americans say it's not the right time.
I do feel that there's too much going on in Cuba, too much poverty, misery, and things that need to be resolved before we can actually have a relationship with Cuba.
The president's visit to Cuba will wrap up on Tuesday. That afternoon, he'll attend a baseball game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cuban national team. Reporting in West New York, New Jersey, Valerie Castro, CBS 2 News.
President Obama is scheduled to meet with Cuban President Raul Castro tomorrow.